What's going on, everybody? My name is Syracuse, and I want to bring you in on a little project I've been toying with. If you look at the games I've been playing recently, you can tell I like the really story-heavy games. I like other games too, but the story-heavy ones, those are the ones I really latch on to. I also like telling stories. So, I want to make a Skyrim series, heavily modded, and I want to tell a story with it. Like, I want to have a heavily edited, slideshow, picture-based story to it. But I'm also going to do, an unabridged for people who just want, a playthrough. So this was going to be that first intro video. I'm going to have just generic background play in the back. That's not really... That's showcasing... That has the mods in it, but it's not what it's going to be like. So I'm going to go over some of the bigger mods, some of the mods that I think are going to get the most questions, like, what's the mod you're using here, or something like that. So I'm going to go over those. I'm going to go through them really quick for people who know their mods, and then I'm going to go back over and I'm going to give a tiny little description for them. So, yeah. First off, we have the realistic lighting overhaul with the realistic knights. We have Purity, we have Ruffled Feather, the Amidian-born Book of Silence, the official 2K texture pack from Bethesda, the Equipping Overhaul, the Bandolier mod, Cloaks of Skyrim, Take Notes, Ultimate Follower Overhaul, Better Vampires, Royal Bloodlines, Alternate Start, Death Alternative, Enhanced Camera, Convenient Horses, Elemental Dragons, the YY Mystic Knight, the Sounds of Skyrim, Immersive Sound Compendium, Violins, the Bijan series, Campfire, Wearable Lanterns, Immersive HUD, Archery Gameplay Overhaul, Knock to Tip, Skyrim Immersive Creatures, the Monster Mod, Familiar Faces, 5 O'Clock Shadow, Dynamic Vampire Appearance, Lean Wolf's Better Shaped Weapons, Dragon Soul Absorb More Glorious, Better Females Shoutcraft, Simple Smithing, Dovahkiin Perks, Atlas Map Markers, Immersive Weapons, Lore Weapon Expansion, and Real Bows. Saying it out loud makes it seem like a lot longer, and that's half the mods I have. I think I'm up to 170 plugins as my load order. So yeah, if you knew all those mods and you don't have any questions, then you can pretty much just end this video now or skip to the end. I'll probably have an annotation if there's something in the end that you need to see. For people who don't know some of those mods or have a question about a certain one, I'm going to go over them a bit slower and give a description now. Alright? Alright, if you're still around, that's what you want. Alright, the Realistic Lighting Overhaul is a overhaul that changes the lighting system. Pretty self-explanatory. Purity overhauls the weather, water, and landscapes. It makes it better looking. Ruffled Feather is just an HD texture pack it's a custom one, so it's better than the official one. Amidian-born Book of Silence is one of the best ones out there. It's amazing. It's another HD texture pack. The official 2K HD, that covers everything else that isn't covered by those two mods. The Equipping Overhaul lets me have multiple weapons visible on my body at once. So, I'm carrying around, 3 swords. Most of them can be visible. You can have one of, each type of weapon. The Bandolier mod is bandoliers and backpacks to increase my carry weight, so stuff I can carry. Cloaks of Skyrim, cloaks, but it makes it so NPCs will spawn wearing them too, and usually they're themed, so guards will have the appropriate cloaks. Take Notes. It's an in-game journal for roleplay purposes. Ultimate Follower Overhaul is a follower overhaul for multiple followers and better control over them. So I think it's up to 5 followers, and I just have better control over them. Better Vampires overhauls the vampire system to where I actually like it. Bethesda, their vampire system was crap. I think most people can admit it. Dawnguard kind of saved it, but no one wanted to be a vampire before that. Royal Bloodline adds to the Vampire Lord formation, so it adds extra perks and all that. Alternate start lets me have a different backstory than across the border and that whole big cutscene with Ulfric and Alduin. Death alternative lets me go into a bleed out state, like essential NPCs do. And then if I actually like black out, I don't die and revert to a previous save. A random event happens where maybe I'm just knocked out and they take some of my stuff and I'm woken by some passing stranger. Or in special cases, I might be taken captive and I have to escape. Enhanced camera lets me see like the lower parts of my body, so I'm not just a floating head. But I prefer it over something like immersive first-person view because it keeps a vanilla first-person view, so it's not a huge change, and it doesn't make it. How do I explain it? It doesn't make it. Keeps a compatibility for stuff, I guess. Convenient horses. With the time I have, all I can say is it makes the horses a lot better. It's a big mod, and I would take way too long explaining it. Elemental dragons makes each dragon fight a little more unique and epic because the dragons will have extra abilities. So like there'll be water themed ones and ice themed ones, and like they'll change the weather and all that. The YY Mystic Knight, it changes the animations, like the idols and all that. Sounds of Skyrim, this one adds sounds, right? It doesn't. I don't believe it changes any sounds, but it'll like add dogs barking in cities and Draugr screams in Nord caves. The immersive sounds compendium, on the other hand, overhauls the vanilla sounds, so it makes it a lot more realistic. Violins is a kill move mod, so it gives cooler cinematic kill moves. The Bijan series makes the women that you see in the game often a lot better looking. Campfire is a complete camping system. Wearable lanterns is a wearable light source. Something so you can have your swords and you can still have a light instead of the torches. Immersive HUD, it removes all the clutter from the screen unless it's needed. So like if you're at full health and full everything, then they just go away. So if you don't have a bar on the screen, then you're at full whatever. Archery gameplay overhaul, it expands upon the archery system. Like you can equip a ring and you can charge your arrows with magic. Knock to tip is a arrow crafting system. So instead of having to go into smithing just to be able to make your high-end arrows, you can craft it with this. The Skyrim immersive creatures just adds more lore-friendly creatures. The monster mod does the same. I don't know if it's really as lore-friendly, but immersive armors adds a ton of amazing armors, all unique. Familiar Faces lets you import previous characters into your save game. Now, since I'm going very story heavy on this, I think that's what I'm going to use it for, to import like characters that I could use as a character in the story. Lean Wolf's better shaped weapons. It makes the weapons look more realistically shaped, so you don't have the dragon bone fork arrows. It actually has like a regular arrowhead. Dragon Soul Absorb More Glorious. It adds an epic animation when absorbing a dragon soul. Better Females improves upon the default female texture, improving all women in Skyrim. So instead of like one complete overhaul on the character, it upgrades the base textures to make them all better looking. Shoutcraft, it links the speechcraft tree to shouting, so when you shout, you can upgrade your speechcraft, and when you level up speechcraft, it decreases the time between shout cooldown. Simple smithing lets you recycle unused equipment into the raw materials. Dovahkiin perks adds perks into the speechcraft tree that seem more unique to the Dragonborn. And it's not just speechcraft related ones. I think that's just the easiest one to change. It's like weapon-based ones. Atlas map markers adds map markers for even the tiniest interesting object, so it's really nice for a completionist. Immersive weapons adds a lot of awesome weapons. Lore-friendly lore weapons expansion, more weapons. And then the real bows makes the super crazy bows look like regular long bows or asymmetric bows or recurve bows. So yeah. That's pretty much how it's going right now. Yeah. We're sitting at 176 mods, and I'll give you a tiny little taste of what I think the story is going to be. You were going to be living in solitude, or the character, and I'm not sure if he's going to be like a single hunter or like a family man kind of guy. But he was attacked by a vampire and entombed, buried, or not really buried, but put into the Hall of the Dead. And he wakes up a vampire. And I'm trying to figure out a lore-friendly explanation for how it could be like a long time after. So that it's not just like the next day. Yeah. Any ideas? That would be helpful. I'm toying with like, it's a master vampire and he would like cast an ice spell to cryo freeze his victim so he could have fresh blood later or something like that, and eventually he's killed so it releases the tie of the spell. Something like that. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap up this episode. I'm thinking because it is going to be a lot of work into each episode, so it's probably only going to be like once every Friday. I'm thinking of uploading it, so that'll be the Friday video. So yeah, you can look forward to that. If you're excited for the series or whatever, like and subscribe would be much appreciated so you can get all the alerts when it comes out. Friday at 4 p.m. Central. Yeah. Until next time, I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.